COVID-19 cases are high and it's overwhelming our healthcare system. The caregivers at San Juan Regional Medical Center need your help.
Our resources are exhausted. We're very limited on what we have the capacity to do because we're being overwhelmed with the number of individuals that are requiring ICU care at this point.
So what can you do to help? Most importantly, ignore the rhetoric and get vaccinated.
Continue hand washing, continue to wear your mask and social distance.
Help us so we can help you.
Minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Tuesday morning, the 8th day of March, 2022. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin, and thank you for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM, of course, over the air here in San Juan County. Everywhere else on the planet Earth, you can tune in at KSJE.com. And welcome also to our viewers, because this is a community-supported visual radio station, so the video is streaming out live this morning to the KSJE Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter account. So we're glad that you are with us this morning, because coming up in the next few moments, we're going to meet the Business of the Year and the Citizen of the Year from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce. Jamie Church is here, and she has brought the two award recipients with her this morning, so we'll be meeting them and hearing their story in the next few moments right here on KSJE, so we're glad that you're with us this morning. Later on, of course, it is Tuesday, so every Tuesday we check in with Amber Francisco at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter, and she tells us about some of the pets who are looking for their forever homes, including the good-looking dog you see on the screen right there. That's Spartacus, who is waiting for you at the animal shelter, so we'll learn more about him today, 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. Next hour, Mick Hess is going to take us roving with the arts. Mick is beginning a part 2 of his Hope Not Hate series, the series that brought us music that was composed by imprisoned musicians during the Holocaust. He takes a different take on it in part 2, talking about more music that was as part of the era of the World War II era and the Holocaust era. Today, we are hearing selections from Shostakovich. You'll hear that this morning on Roving with the Arts with Mick Hess today at 9:06 on KSJE. Also, we invite you to connect with us on our Instagram page, in addition to Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. And if you're a podcast person, you can subscribe for free to KSJE podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. So take us with you. You might find a new program that you like, of course. We've got a lot of our locally produced programs as podcasts, so check it out. Weather forecast outside our studios. It is mostly sunny today. We're expecting sunshine throughout the day today. 23 degrees in Farmington at the moment. We're expecting a high today of 41 with some partly cloudy skies overnight tonight with a low of 23 degrees. Tomorrow, though, chance of rain showers back in the forecast. 47 for a high on Wednesday. 31 with maybe some frozen rain and snow overnight Wednesday night. More chances for rain and snow on Thursday with a high near 40, low of 22, and then maybe by Friday, a chance of partly sunny skies, chance of snow showers, the high 43 degrees, overnight low of 19 degrees with sunshine and 50 degrees set for Saturday. Tuesday morning here on KSJE, and of course with me for her regular monthly appearance, Jamie Church is here, the president and CEO of the Farmington Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this morning's topic.
We have a full studio thanks to you.
You've brought very excited.
Some special guests with you, and so let's introduce them.
Sure.
First of all, Michelle Robbins is here, and she is with Robbins Heating and Air Conditioning, and they are the Business of the Year, right? Good morning, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And our Citizen of the Year really needs no introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway because he's Farmington Police Chief Steve Hebbe, who is here. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Scott. It's good to see you again.
I never see you before noon, so it's nice that you're out and about.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good to have you here. And so, Jamie, this was a little bit of a different type of ceremony because usually we gather for the annual banquet of the Farmington Chamber of Commerce, and it's still a big, giant secret, and no one knows who the winner is, and then it's kind of revealed during the banquet. But, of course, this year we weren't able to have a banquet in January because things are still pretty locked up,
Well,
masked
pretty
up,
iffy.
and iffy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you came up with a different plan.
Right. Well, actually, I have to give you a little bit of the credit, remember, because
Listen
you're
up, Chief.
right.
Listen up, Chief.
Yeah, so to give you a little bit of credit for the idea. But you're absolutely right. We weren't able to have an end-of-year banquet. We do our end-of-year banquets in January to talk about the previous year, but we weren't able to do an end-of-year banquet in January of 2021, obviously, because we were still really in the throes of COVID. And then we were getting ready to talk about our banquet for January of 2022, and things were just still... We just weren't ready. We thought, to have the chamber name on it and bring in all these people to one space, and we better not. So I was talking to you about that on my normal Tuesday show, and you said, oh, so you're going to do it kind of like Publishers Clearinghouse. And I was like, yeah, I like that idea. So we did keep it very secret, and then we got balloons and the trophy, and we had our red coats and our board. They didn't even know where they were going until about the night before. And I said, I need you here at this place. And they were all like, oh, okay. But they showed up, and we were able to do it sort of surprise style. But the great thing is that everybody had so much fun that I think we might do that in years going forward as well. It was really fun to make this award at the place of business or to a place in the instance of Chief Hebbe, someplace that was special to them, that is important, and we'll still do the banquet, and they'll still get recognized at the banquet. But this was really fun, and so I think we'll do it going forward too.
Very good. Well, let me turn to Michelle Robbins, Robbins Heating and Air Conditioning, and again, congratulations, and talk to me a little bit about your company. First of all, how long has it been in business in Farmington, and how many people do you have employed?
So we started in 2002, my husband and I. He had the truck, and I knew how to use a computer, so that's where we got started.
The rest is history, as
the
they
rest
say,
is
right?
history.
Okay.
Yeah, we worked from our home for a few years, and then started growing a team when we needed some help, and we've had awesome people join our team. We have 25 employees now. So.
Right. Very good. Congratulations. And
Thank
you were just
you.
telling me before we came on the air this morning that you were planning to expand your physical location soon.
That's right. So we've been crammed into a small shop on Farmington Avenue now for almost 10 years, and our team is very excited. We're moving around the corner on Schofield Avenue here in Farmington for more size office and shop area, so we don't have to... We're very close at our company, and we don't have to be so close, so I'm sure our team is very excited.
A little more elbow room.
Yes.
Sounds like. Very good. Well, I got some pictures here from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and so we can kind of see mostly everybody, it looks like, right, that is there to celebrate the Business of the Year. Take us through that day, I guess, because you didn't know this was happening.
No, I had no idea. And we have normally our team safety meetings every Wednesday morning. And so I just come into work like normal, and there's cars parked up and down our street. I mean, and there's probably 20 people standing outside. I'm like, what is going on? So I go inside, I ask our team, I'm like, what's happening? They're like, we don't know. I'm like, somebody here knows what's going on. They're like, we swear, we don't know. And then all of a sudden, balloons and red coats and the whole Chamber of Commerce joined us inside our shop there, and we were just absolutely blown away. It was fun. And I think fun, too, for the whole team to kind of be in there and enjoy the surprise, because they're really the reason why we got the award. So it was, just a cool morning.
Yeah,
so.
Nice. And that's another thing about doing it this way, Jamie Church, is that you can include the rest of the team members maybe that you could maybe get into a banquet.
Right, exactly.
Around a dinner table.
Exactly, because typically at the banquet, there's somebody always on the inside who knows what's going on so we can get people to the banquet, but it's one table for 8 people. And while that is fun and they get, it's a great thing to do it at the banquet, I think, again, when you can involve the whole team and having them be a part of it was really special. And it was... Surprises are always difficult to pull off, but, and I do want to thank Cleet with Four Corners Community Bank. He's actually the one that submitted the nomination. And so, we can't do these awards unless people make the nominations, and I can talk about that a little bit later, how that what that process is.
Right.
But I really thought it was great to surprise them. And where I really got choked up was when they didn't know we were coming, they didn't know this was happening, and their entire team, they say their mission statement out loud. They all know it. They all have it memorized. They all say it in unison. And that just gave me, I really got choked up at that, because I thought, what a great thing that your team all knows what your mission is, and you talk about that, and that's forefront of your business model. And I just thought that was great. So well
Awesome.
done.
Yeah, thanks.
Very, very good. And of course, here we are, 2 years, pandemic kind coming out of it, hopefully. And so again, to celebrate businesses and growing businesses and things like that, I think is another great opportunity to be able to do this time of year. And so congratulations to you. It sounds like you folks have kind of weathered the last couple of years pretty well.
Yeah, we definitely, when the tough got going, whatever the phrase is, when the tough
Going
gets
gets
going,
tough,
the going
get
gets
going,
tough.
something like that.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
And yeah, we saw an increase with people just being home more. We saw quite a demand, and so our team worked nonstop. And bless those guys and gals, they didn't falter. So yeah, we had a busy time, and our team really showed up to the challenge. So.
Very, very good. Well, again, congratulations. We'll show a few more pictures here from the day of the event. I'm sorry, I put it up there anyway, Jamie Church. You didn't want me to show
well,
that.
I am looking at my hair from the back, and it looks pretty good,
You got
so
it. Your
you're
hair looks-
okay.
Your hair looks good. The bag that you slung
All
over your
right,
shoulder
all right,
like
I
you're
know,
going
I
out
like
of
it,
town
but
for
my
a
hair
week.
looks good from the back.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing that they do that was part of the nomination, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, is you give away, correct, a heating system every year to a family in need. Is that correct? So how do you find out about those families?
So we announced that we're doing a nomination period, and so it usually lasts for 2 to 3 weeks, and then people can submit. It's pretty heartwarming to see people submitting their neighbors, family members. Some of our team will come and let us know that, hey, we did a service call, and it's a really tough situation. And in years past, we've done a random drawing, and other times we've kind of all read through the nominations, and we feel like that's more of the process we enjoy because everyone gets to have a say kind of. And you pick the right winner. And so, yeah, we go through, we've had 80 nominations this last time we gave away. Wow. And we read their stories and kind of pick out the ones that really kind of say the most to us. And then we do 5 on-site evaluations just to make sure it's something we actually can do before we promise to give it away. And so we go and meet people, and that's quite the time. It's probably our best time of year. We do it every Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Well, and because that is also a health and safety issue too. If you have a family that's not turning on their heat, or they have a heater that's leaking some kind of carbon monoxide, I mean, that could really be a safety issue. And sometimes people know there's an issue, but they're so scared about the cost that they don't make that call. So I just think that's really great because it shows what a perfect choice our business of the year was. But I love that you're giving back to the community too.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, my husband and I were both born and raised here, so it feels right, to try to do the best we can. We've gotten a lot out of living here, so time to give back. So
Very, very nice. Well, and it is, but it's a conscious choice that you have made to do that with your business and to be able to give a little bit back. And so, even in tough years, it may be a little tougher to do that than other years. So, I think that's worth noting.
Well, thank you.
So, you bet. So, very good. A couple more pictures here from the Business of the Year Award at Robbins Heating and Air Conditioning that happened. Just a couple, maybe like last month, about a month ago, maybe.
Yes,
At
it
this
was
point.
in
February.
February.
Yeah.
The time flies, Scott.
I
I mean, you're
understand.
asking me to think
I
back
know.
to something that happened like before yesterday. So
Yes, I
yes,
understand.
yes, in February.
Very true.
Yeah.
And so there you go. And the Redcoats, of course, were there.
Yes, and our board of directors.
and the board.
And we had a good turnout from our board too.
Very good. But there they are. There's a whole group. And that's everyone. So again, congratulations. And
Thank you.
the Business of the Year, Robbins Heating and Air Conditioning from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce. And that will bring us to our other honoree today. And that would be none other than Chief Hebbe, who has already shared the story on the Cop Shop about how he was surprised because it wasn't at his day job. It was at his other commitment to the community, which was some of his referee work, I guess, more like than umpire. Right, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so so we're going to see you in stripes is what's going to happen.
You're going to see me in stripes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Very thinning. So
But you've been doing that. You have been helping out as a referee for, gosh, how long have you been doing that, Chief?
this is my 3rd year that I just wrapped up. I'd done it for about 4 or 5 years earlier when I was in college, and then the first couple of years that I was working. But I was working nights a lot, and it just conflicted the schedule when I was first up in Anchorage as a cop. And so I went away from it for quite a while. But a few years ago, I was reading all the shortage of referees, and actually I enjoyed it. It doesn't hurt me to get off the couch a little bit and run around, although with the kids it hurts a little bit. So I got back in it, and I've really enjoyed it.
Congratulations. Well, but you were telling me it is a lot of running around.
It is a lot of running.
Maybe than what you were used to, at least when you first got back into it. Maybe now you're more ready to run.
Yeah.
Basket to basket.
Psychologically, I'm not as surprised, but when you've been away from kids for quite a while and then you try and chase them down a court, and
Right.
they're 16, 17 years old, they're hoofing it, and you're
Yeah,
dragging. So
that's right.
It was a long couple of games initially, but I'm back into it.
Very, very good. Jamie Church, tell us the inside scoop on trying to surprise the chief of police. How does that even happen?
Well, again, I had two people on the inside helping me, Walter Dorman and then the chief's wife, Janet Hebbe. So we had, again, some people on the inside.
Co-conspirators.
Oh, yeah, you can't pull these
Co-conspirators.
off without somebody on the inside. So, again, we got our red coats there, and they didn't know who it was. And even when I told them where, they just assumed it was somebody involved in education, because I said, be at the Farmington High School gym at 5:15, and they had no idea who it was. I hadn't told anybody. And so, but we showed up, and the funny thing about this with the chief is that even with all of us standing there in our red coats, which are pretty bright, they're bright red.
Yeah, you can't really miss
And
them.
also, I think we had 8 to 10 of your officers there in their uniforms.
Yeah.
And still, with all that, the sort of our way to get him back out on the court was they told him that there was a dispute on one of his calls, and he had to come back out. So he just came back out and went right past all of us, all those red coats and everything, and so intent
Was
on
focused.
very focused.
Yes.
What's the dispute on the call? And then
Who
there
would
we
even
all
bring
were.
that up?
The mayor, Nate Duckett. I mean, we're all standing, or Nate Duckett is the mayor. The mayor, Nate Duckett, Rob
manager
Mays,
was
all
there,
these, the city
sure.
manager, all these people in red coats. And, but then we kind of got his attention and were able to make the award. But it was
Nice.
pretty great. And the other thing I didn't anticipate was how perfect it was going to be to have an entire gym full of people to clap and honor you and stand. And that, I think, I didn't even think about that, and it was really perfect. So, yeah.
Well, they weren't clapping and honoring me before that in the game, so it was a twist for them.
There you go. But you were telling us the other day on the other program that you kind of ran by or walked by or fast walked by everybody that was kind of standing there to get to the table to go over to see what the problem was with the call that you had made, the fictitious reason to get you back out on the court.
Yes.
So
Walter comes in. He's the head scheduler. He comes in and says, I don't do this, but there's a problem with the book. We need you to come back. And the game previous, right at the end, La Cueva had hit a 3-point shot, and I'd signaled that it was good, that it came in right before the buzzer. Didn't change the outcome of the game, but I thought, well, maybe they didn't see me signal it, maybe there was an issue, and so. But I also knew that they were doing a parents' night, and so they had a whole bunch of kids, and they're bringing flowers and teddy bears to their parents, and so I come around and I see 2 of my cops, and I kind of nod at them, but I see just a cluster of people, and so I think they're getting ready to do the. So I just hustle past it to get up there. What's the problem with the call? And those people are looking at me like I'm insane. There's no problem with it. I said, Walter said there's a problem with it, and then Jamie says, we're here too, and I'm like, ooh, Walter.
and there it is. And
And then I see
There it
everybody,
is.
and yeah, it was bad.
And so truly you were surprised, obviously.
I was truly surprised, and I was still cooling down. We're in between the 2 games. I was supposed to ref the next game, so I'm just back in the room cooling down. So I am sweating profusely. When I come out, it is not my best luck. No matter how much the camera tries to shine, it wasn't going to help me that day. So
Right. But
fortunately, I had a mask on, so
that helps maybe a little bit. There you go. But certainly well-deserved, Chief, because I think, and to both of you, but Chief, I know you do a lot with the community since you have been here, and that was the reason. Do we know who nominated the Chief?
I do. We had a great nomination from actually Janet, but I've known the chief for a number of years, back from when I worked at Child Haven, and we did a Pie Smash Challenge. Well,
Who could
because
forget?
you got a pie in the face as
yes,
well.
I did.
And so did the chief. And
Yes.
so, but it's not only that. It's that he always is willing to take part. I think you've been dunked in the water for events. I know you got a pie in the face. You were you were our only male speaker at our Professional Women's Summit in 2021, and you were just, we got so much great feedback about your presentation. And so you're just always a good sport, and I think you do give back to the community, but also in a larger sense, I feel like a lot of times our law enforcement and our first responders don't always hear a lot of appreciation. Like so many things, when there's an issue, everybody's like ready to say what it is, but when things go right and you do something well, even in the business world, it's so nice to know people are noticing. And so we heard nothing but awesome feedback about what a good choice it was. So
Well, I
we
appreciate
really
it.
appreciate you.
It was quite a surprise, and it was, I haven't lived here my whole life, so I really have worked hard to try and, let the community know who I am. I think it's important as the chief. I'm the top guy. When things go wrong, they got to be able to know who I am and trust me. So I've tried to put my face out there, sometimes in pies, sometimes in other things, dyeing the hair pink. So I've tried some different things, but it was an honor that I was recognized, so I appreciate it.
Well, and we know what that's like, don't we, Scott?
We do know what that's like. That's why I said welcome to the club, and then he made fun of me for saying that. But that's okay.
Again, Scott is a victim. Have you noticed that? He baits, and then he's a victim. But he's good. He's good at it. I mean, you can't argue with
Good
him.
at it.
Well,
But I also did something that the two of you did, and Jamie and I did it together. But it was, I think, a much bigger sacrifice on my account, and I talked poor David into doing it with me, David Burke, and that was Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Which
yes.
was way, way outside my comfort zone. So I don't mind dyeing the hair pink. I don't mind a pie on the face. The Dancing with the Stars was, very nerve-wracking, but I did my best, and
You did.
It's over, thank
And
goodness.
yeah, we've all been through that. Michelle,
Yeah.
you better get ready. You'll probably
yeah.
have to do it one of these days.
someone probably has your number, Michelle Robbins. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Sorry.
really work on my dance moves
Yeah.
before
Boy,
any time
You
comes.
and me
yeah.
both. So it was rough.
be ready.
It was
Yes.
very fun, though.
It is coming. Just a couple more pictures here, Chief. Here's the mayor saying, I'm assuming, some good things about you, obviously, from the nomination.
I'm hoping.
Yes,
Yes.
right. And of course, the city manager Rob Mays was there as well, again to say a few words. And so again, some things that you normally haven't been able to do at the banquet, that with this
Right.
new kind of format, you're able to include some more people, maybe.
Exactly. And so having them be able to give help, be a part of giving this award, I thought was really special and made it just, again, where they are and in their place, whether it's their workplace or what they're doing to help support the community, it just really made it special and different. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with changing how we do things. And we want to continue to do the Citizen and Business of the Year, but to be able to change up a little bit how we do it, I think is fun. And one thing we have changed is that we used to do the nomination process in November. We put out all these emails and on our Facebook, if you want to nominate somebody. And now we're doing it year round because we realize that it's when you go into a business and you have that great customer experience or you know something about that business, that might be in April. Are you going to remember that in November when we start asking for these nominations? Same thing with Citizen of the Year. So now that nomination form is always going to be on our website and
Nice.
available. So if you are wanting to make a nomination, you don't have to wait till the end of the year. We're going to collect them through the year, and then we have a committee. It's made up of our executive officers of the board, and we look at all the nominations, and then we make our selection. Now, a couple of things is that the Business of the Year does have to be a chamber member. And the Citizen of the Year does not have to necessarily be a chamber member, but the business does. And also, if they have received the Business of the Year in the past, they can't receive it again, because we want to make sure that we are recognizing not only the large businesses that sort of everybody knows about, like the hospital, Pesco, those, but we want to make sure that the smaller businesses such as Robbins also get those recognitions as well. So, but anyway, so now anybody that wants to make a nomination anytime during the year just needs to contact us at the chamber, and we'll get that form to them.
Very good. There,
Yeah.
there you go. Another picture here of Jamie in her red coat.
With my
their,
balloons.
With her balloons, right?
And the face mask.
And the
Exactly.
face mask. 1 week,
That's
Chief Hebbe,
1
because
week,
the
right.
mandate was dropped 1 week after that.
The week
If
after.
I had just waited 1 week.
It's been a long 2 years. So We refed for 2 years
Yes.
with the mask
Yeah.
on. You'd have the whistle under the mask.
Right.
So it
That's
was
unique, right?
And the kids were running around in a mask the whole time. So it really, as great as this event was, a week later when I got to ref my first game in 2 years without a mask, that was probably the best day.
Yeah.
There you go.
In
Yeah.
my roughing.
I wish, part of me was thinking, gosh, if we had just waited 1 week, but I don't think Walter Dorman could have handled it. Walter wasn't sleeping. He
Poor
called
guy.
me, poor
Oh,
guy. He
no.
wanted this to go off so, like, without a hitch. I
Right.
don't think he could have survived if we had tried to keep it secret 1 more week. So,
Wow.
Well, you guys
yeah.
did a great job with it, and,
Thanks.
and Walter obviously fooled me like crazy.
There you go.
I do want to say, just like like with Robbins, it's the employees that set whether whatever you're doing it's important, but it doesn't matter if at the end of the day your employees aren't carrying out your mission and aren't doing the things that you're hoping are happening with your public, and that's definitely the case with the FPD. I'm honored to receive this, but honestly, I don't get this if FPD's reputation's bad. That comes from my employees. And also my wife has put up with not just all the public appearances, not just all the work, and occasionally I come home a little stressed. But then she's actually supported me while I've run around refereeing basketball for the last 3 years. So Janet's been great, and my employees were great. So I'm never a big one for rock stars. There's no rock stars in policing. It's all of us trying to do a good job to keep the public safe. So I'm humbled by it, but I thank my wife and all the employees at the department.
Well, that's good to hear. But you said it yourself, Chief, that, again, kind of the buck stops with you when a decision has to be made, and you've made them. And I think you've been fairly transparent, at least in my experience, of, when you have had to make a decision, an important decision, you're out there, and you're not usually shy about explaining why you made that decision. I think that's helpful for the citizenry to understand how some of these decisions have been made, and whether it's at a press conference or in your office, or you're on the side of the road in the dark at 3 a.m. doing a video for the community to explain what's going on. You're the guy who has been doing that, and I think that's worthy of some credit.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
For all the things I gave you gruff about, I think that's important, Chief.
So I'll have to
and I
withdraw.
want to make sure you know that.
I'll have to withdraw the announcement that we are moving to Crown next week.
Okay, all
At
right.
the cop shop.
Thank you.
We will stay with KSJE.
We got him back for one more week.
That's right.
But anyway,
It's a week-to-week thing.
That's right. I understand, but I mean that sincerely, and I hope you understand that.
Well, thank you. I do. I appreciate it.
I think there's a lot of communities and a lot of places with their police departments that have had a rough go, and they haven't had maybe the leadership that we have had, and you've kind of seen that respect and trust erode. And I'm thankful that we don't have that here. At least I don't see it, and I hope other folks don't see it either.
Yep, I would agree.
So
I do hope that our citizens know. I mean, we're the police department for everybody. I think in some communities that isn't the perception, at least among some of the various parts of the populace, and that to me is foundational about who we are. As a police department, we represent all our citizens, just like our government does, and so we've worked hard at that. And that means sometimes having to sit and talk about painful things that you screwed up, or that I've screwed up. And usually I think people will, especially Americans, I think we're forgiving. We just want to know what happened, and we want you to own it. And if we do those things, usually people get past it, as long as they understand you're working to fix it. And so that's really been one of the most important parts of my time as chief, is learning that lesson and being upfront about stuff like that.
very good. Well, again, congratulations to you, Michelle Robbins, Robbins Heating and Air Conditioning. Congratulations to you as Business of the Year. Two well-deserving people and organizations, Jamie Church.
Yes, and we actually are going to have our event. It's not going to be the banquet this year. We're sort of postponing and combining it with our Music by the Pond membership celebration, which will happen in July at the San Juan Country Club, and it's live music and a barbecue. But we will have a table for both Robbins as well as Chief Hebbe to honor them again at that event. So,
you to pop out of a cake?
Do I need you to pop out of a cake?
No, the chief should pop out of the cake. He's citizen of the year.
Scott. Well, Scott, there you go with these great ideas.
Join the club, Scott. Yeah, sure.
Yes, you've shown
For
up to that
someone
event
else.
in some very interesting clothes before. So let's talk about
I know what that means.
Have you seen your suits at Christmas?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Because I have.
Shorts
I know
and
you
a
have.
suit and
Yes,
tie. But
yes.
anyway, so we are going to still give another opportunity to recognize them in, a setting of their peers and other
Yes.
businesses and chamber members. So we do want to, I don't think as chamber director we can ever thank our small businesses or any of our businesses enough. That's what makes a community the place where people want to live and raise their children, and same with law enforcement. I mean, it's those type of things that add to the quality of life of a community, and so I was just very honored to be a part of it and excited about our choices.
Very true. Well, and we've heard the testimonials here this morning,
Yes.
so it's great choices. Before we run out of time,
Yes.
there's a couple of chamber events that are coming up that we want to
Always.
let folks know about, right?
Yes.
So what is happening next week?
So next week on the 18th is our Focus on Farmington Coffee. And again, these happen once a month, and they are always free to anybody in the community. This one will be at Zia Media and Marketing. They have just moved from your old house.
That's right.
You know, right? right
I
across
know.
from the Civic Center.
Yeah.
But anyway, they opened a new office space downtown Farmington on Main Street, and it's a very cool space. And so we'll be doing our Focus on Farmington coffee there, 8 a.m. on the 18th. And if you follow the KSJE page, you are always great about posting those things. It's also on the Farmington Chamber of Commerce page on Facebook, as well as it has its own dedicated page called Focus on Farmington Coffee. And so we just invite everybody to turn up for that coffee. And right now, that's kind of the only thing. We're working on some other business after hours and different things coming up, but that's the big thing.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
There you go.
Yep.
Very good. Well, everybody, thank you for coming in this morning. Once again, congratulations to everyone, and great job, and look forward to seeing you maybe at Music by the Pond
Yes.
and
Sounds great.
other
Sounds
events
good.
around town. Jamie, thank you, of
Thank
course,
you.
for getting them all together, because I know with coordinating schedules, this has been amazing.
Yes.
So
No, we just really appreciate everybody being here today and giving me the opportunity to thank our businesses, law enforcement, first responders, and you too, Scott. Thank you for always giving us the opportunity to have a voice and share what's going on.
you bet. It's great to do it. So thank you very much, Jamie Church, Farmington Chamber of Commerce, my guest this morning here on KSJE. KSJE is supported by the Farmington Civic Center, bringing a full slate of entertainment to Farmington and San Juan County. Todd Oliver and Irving the Talking Dog, Monday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. The Farmington Civic Center, 200 West Arrington in downtown Farmington. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows or 505-599-1148.